Communities around Lake Victoria water catchment area are racing against time to combat the impact of climate change. A regional approach to climate change adaptation in vulnerable communities in Lake Victoria Basin is ongoing, with each country implementing according to her specification.
So depending on the context of the country, we were looking at different sources of water. So like specifically for Rwanda, the recommendation was to harvest rainwater. In Tanzania, we explored the option of using underground water. So this is where we are drilling boreholes for the community. And also in terms of use, depending on the community context, like in Tanzania, it's more to do with micro-irrigation, rice intensification during drought period and all that.
During a recent assessment tour of the adaptation to climate change in Lake Victoria Basin project in areas of Gatore, Gahara and Musanza sectors in Kirehe district, eastern Rwanda, it was established that the adaptation to climate change process is on course. A case in point is in Gatore sector, where settlements that are as a result of government's plan to effectively provide social services, housing units that used to be affected by water runoffs during heavy rains have been climate-proofed. About 160 houses have been cemented and plastered with the aim of shielding them against heavy rains.
And these are houses that initially were mud houses, and therefore there was the risk of houses collapsing during heavy rains. And climate proofing by cementing the houses, plastering them, has helped a lot to ensure that they are more resilient to emerging climate risks of heavy rains.
Water harvesting tanks are being installed for storing water for use during dry spell effects.
Urabona dufite abana biga ariko babyukaga saa 8 bakajya kuzana amazi ntibasubire no mu masomo, ariko ubu wa mwana kubera ko y'amazi hari arabyuka gasubira muri etide, gasubira mu byo yize, yagera ku ishuri mwarimu akarushaho kugira gute umukora mu hakarushaho kumva neza kuko nta atavunitse.
As I said, we have 160 households, and an average of one household is about 80 people. So you can account the beneficiaries of the people here.
Unfortunately, even as accessibility to water has been enhanced, the harvested water is not safe for human consumption due to rust residues from the roof that is a danger to health.
Nabivuze ko dukeneye amabati mona karashaje ingese kubera n'amazi tugira ubwoba ko zazadutera kanseri.
And in Musanza sector, focus is on small-scale farming projects like livestock that involves groups of about 16 to 20 vulnerable people.
As we are adapting to that climate change and looking that they were cultivating in the wetland Akagera, which is protected, so they left the Akagera wetland to implement this project, and the Akagera wetland is safe and they are getting income from this project. It is at starting point, but tomorrow and after tomorrow they will get income from the
bikikije mwaka gace kacu biterwa nuko dushobora kurwanya ibibazo, tukarwanya ivyerekeye kudakomakoma ibiti, kuko ibiti iyo bitsembweho muri aka gace nukuvuga ko imvura ikunze kubura, nta biti bihaye. Tukagerageza kuba twatera ubwatsi bushobora kurwanya isuri. Ubwo bwatsi ari nabwo dushobora kugaburira amatungo yacu.
Kugurisha ibibwana haba no kugurisha ingurube, amafaranga y'ubworozi ari hejuru. Kana ubworozi bw'ingurube bwunguka vuba, kuko ingurube ibyara mu mezi 6. Ingurube imwe ikaba yabyara ibyana 10. Icyo gihe rero hariho umusaruro w'icyana kimwe ugereranije nk'ubu wenda icyana kikivuka kikagura nk'ibihumbi 50 cyangwa 20 kikiri gito cyane na 5, wasanga twebwe turi mu buzamuke bwo kwiteza imbere.
Back here in Uganda, the adaptation to climate change in Lake Victoria Basin project is overseeing construction of valley tanks in Mubende and tree planting in Masaka.
The purpose is not for sale of timber or wood that comes for trees, but for that trees to be there to provide ecosystem services to the community to help to regulate the microclimate of this area. The community can benefit from pruning and thinning of the forest activities as a way of getting a sustainable way of having firewood within their homes. They can benefit from, maybe they can propose to set up a beekeeping project within the forest once the trees have grown to a certain height. Those kind of ecosystem services from natural resources is what we are targeting.
Adaptation to Climate Change project is funded by Adaptation Fund through United Nations Environmental Program implemented by Lake Victoria Basin Commission in the 5 East African countries, namely Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda and Burundi. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.